My name is Jenny Wu. I'm a partner at Oyler Wu Collaborative. I have a Los Angeles-based office. I am a Taiwanese American. Our latest project is called Anemone. The last 5 years, we have been working on projects in Taipei, but Anemone was our very first project that actually got built. We were approached by a developer, Judd, and we were lucky enough to be able to propose an idea that was very unusual. It was a pavilion that was open to the public that allowed people to interact with it.
Hi, my name is Dwayne Oyler of Oyler Wu Collaborative. We did this project Anemone because we were really interested in the idea of tactility. We looked at a lot of these types of projects, art and architecture, that were being done, and we thought it would be interesting if the project was really about trying to compel a different kind of response to the work. We liked the idea that rather than it being a very precious piece that people were almost afraid to touch, that people became much more interactive with the piece, that the piece almost asked people to touch it, to feel it, to rub up against it. And we wanted a project that expressed that desire. So that's what led to these rubber tubes that cover every surface. They're really about a form of human engagement with the piece.
The type of architecture that Dwayne and I, my partner and I, practice in Los Angeles is, I would best describe it as experimental. We both teach at SCI-Arc, the Southern California Institute of Architecture, where we feel like it is a place where we can really experiment with our students and as well as ourselves. So in the past, I would say 6 years, we have been experimenting with the idea of line work as well as materiality. And we have done about 7 installations in this last 6 years that really experiment with different types of lines using either metal, in the case of Anemone, using rubber tubing, as well as using rope and fabric. And we have been really trying to make a body of work that really challenges the idea of what architecture is and what it can be.
The overall design of the piece was meant to try to deal with all aspects of the way people might interact with the piece. So you've got a basic wall where people were meant to touch the piece. There's a piece that operates almost like a bed that becomes horizontal. People were encouraged to lay on the piece, to sit on the piece. And finally, there was a canopy that extended between the two. And that was really about trying to create a completely surrounding enclosure. We really didn't want the piece to feel, at least when you're in it, like it's an object sitting in the landscape. We wanted it to be something that was really experienced, that it surrounded you and enclosed you.
The process of building Anemone was a really challenging one. In the past 3 years, most of the installation we have fabricated and designed ourselves. So we have full control of how to actually build it. Of course, Taiwan is very far away from LA, and that we had really amazing communication between our client, the fabricators, as well as us, basically going through using tons and tons of photos and corresponding almost on a daily basis to make sure all the details are done correctly. And I would say I'm still really amazed that we were able to pull off this project. Anemone is one that's made from 30,000 rubber tubings. And one of the things we thought that was going to happen was that we were going to drill all the holes using the CNC mill or water jet cutter. But actually, we ended up with some really hardworking Taiwanese worker who actually drilled each one of the holes front and back themselves, which was amazing because then that means they actually drilled 60,000 holes to make this project. And the precision of what they did was quite incredible. And so I thought that was one of the most memorable things that they did on the project.
I remember the first time we presented this project to the developer, Judd. We knew ourselves that this was a kind of an unusual idea, and we showed up with this pile of rubber tubes. And frankly, we thought they might laugh at us, but I think that they recognized that strangeness was part of what made the project unique and would ultimately make it interesting to the people that came to the piece.
I think the thing that really drives us as architects now, we spent the last 5 years doing a lot of installation work, and we're really ready to jump scales to the larger projects. And I think the thing that's most challenging is how to take some of the lines and the language that we're developing that's highly experimental, but then how to then translate it into a real building with real enclosures. And I think that is a challenge we've been dealing with in the past 2 years, and it's very exciting, and we can't wait to see it happen.